Hello everyone, welcome to Fuse Room. I'm Alberto. In this video we're going to talk about Basslane Pro, but we're going to talk about how I like to use it, which might be unconventional, I don't know. It sounds fantastic. I've been using it for some weird sketches, one of which, finished, sounds like this. So I absolutely love this. I have to say it's perfect for what I was asked to do, in my opinion, but there's no telling whether or not the producers will accept it. But it's just underground and industrial and wet and surrounding you and haunting you somehow. And a lot of it has to do with how I've used Basslane Pro. So there's 4 drum tracks and there's one bass line track, a groove, a sequence that I've captured and sliced. We're going to take a look at it. We're going to start with the mix bus that I'm going to disable. I'm just going to show you Kelvin, the very last stage. I'm using it as a mild clipper. So the stage 1 and 2 are clean. There's no shaping, nothing at all, just a little bit of a 0.2 output, and the clipper is on. So there's 2 effects in this session. One is the Big Sky, the pedal here, set in shimmer mode, and one is the 608 multi-tap. But we're gonna disable these effects and we're gonna just listen to the bass line sequence that I captured without Basslane Pro. So in its completely raw state, it sounds like this. Right? And it's looping back. Now what I've done with Basslane is to make it sound like this. And it's just fantastic. It's fantastic. So I haven't used the sub filter, but I'm cutting pretty sharp and pretty high. I'm widening the heck out of it, gaining up as well. And then I have a mono recovery at around what, like very fast and around 43%. So it's still recentering itself. And then I'm crunching the side channels for stereo harmonics. It's like all on the sides. I'm kind of dampening at around 116. I don't want it to be extremely crunchy in the lows, but then I'm compressing it, keeping the level at 0. And I'm not using dynamics, no limiter, nothing. Linear phase mode, because kind of sounds nice, although I gotta say the live was fine as well, but I instantly went for linear phase. So before and after again. Just like insane. This is sound design stuff. Like we're not, doing mastering or a lot of things you can do with this plugin. This is a lot of sound design for video game soundtracks. So in the shimmer reverb, which is important, I think, the effect of the bass lane sounds like this. That shimmer, again, it's like a octave up, right? So then I've used Basslane Pro on the drum crashes as well. Without Basslane Pro and without effects, they sound like this. With Basslane Pro, they sound like this. So what I've done is I've cut pretty high, 1200, a lot of gain this time, auto mono recovery, 43.8. These I think I've inherited from the previous one. Still a lot of crunch, but now on the stereo field. And I'm dampening always at 100-ish something, compressing, adding level, and then the dynamics are compressing. Fast release, it's just making the sound sort of move organically around you, and it's so haunting and weird. Again, without. You hear that tail? In your headphones, if you're playing this game and stuff, the footage I got, the characters I've got, I think it really fits, and it's such a detail. Now, this thing with effects, being the shimmer and 608 multi-tap, sounds like this. Now, the added cherry on the cake, in my opinion, is how I've used Unison, which is a way I love to use on these kind of sketches because it emphasizes the side content, which is really enticing when used with headphones especially. This is a preset I have, the Cyberpunk Traveler, which I've modified to have even more push in the side channel. So I propose we'll listen to the whole mix with effects without Unison, and then I'm gonna engage it halfway through. Listen to how I've gone even further into that haunted, sort of enticing and entangling scenario. What do you want to call it? Soundstage? You know, your avatar is in there somehow, and Unison brings it even further. You see how it works, right? It's unlinked, it's mid-side, and I'm pushing the side content in compression more, although I'm still linking sort of 30% the two channels. So there's a common denominator, right? Last but not least, there's another Kelvin. And this is because I wanted to add a little bit more crispiness and crunch and distortion to the whole mechanism, but after the compression that Unison is providing us with. So this is 41%. So it's less than a half. There's lows and highs being completely carved, and there's a little bit of a push, 3 dBs at around 338 for the mid frequencies post distortion. And there's 15.2 of dark iron, 4.8 of vintage, trimming down, clipping. Try and feel these rather than really hear it, because you won't hear a lot of distortion, but if you look past what's going on into the mass of liquid sound, you hear that there's a crispiness and a crunch of this distorted engine somehow. So 2 bars without and then with. So you hear how the curve of the soundstage changes completely. It's curved differently. With these Kelvin, the engine of the drums goes a little bit back, farther back, and it's a little bit more glued together, which is a sound. And I also like the one without, where the drums are a little bit more classic and you can hear the articulation better. So you decide which one you like. This was version A and B. Sometimes within the same sketch, you want to have, a couple different brush strokes. And this was kind of nice, so I thought I would add these as well. You heard a lot of examples probably on Unison, Kelvin, and Basslane Pro, on mastering situations, on mixes and stuff, but for my sketches of soundtrack work with video game developers, I do a lot of sound design with them, and it sounds fantastic. So there you have it. This is how I use them. Thank you very much. Ciao.